Podcasting live from Westminster College Studios. This is The Buzz, where we recap last week's Titan events, preview the upcoming Titans in action, and hopefully bring a closer look into Titan sports. This is your host, Nate LaRiccia, and I am not joined by my co-host, Nick MacDonald. What's up? He went on to bigger and better things. He's at Duke University, took a position there in their sports information department, so we're really happy for him. Well-deserved. We really appreciate all his work here this past year and a half at Westminster, but hopefully he's listening. I know he's probably not because he didn't listen to his own podcast, but Nick, if you are listening by random, really appreciate your work, and thanks for everything. Good luck at Duke, and don't forget, please remember all those tickets that you promised me in the future. So moving forward, I am joined today by a special guest, men's basketball sophomore, Anthony Ritter. Anthony, what's up?
Not too much, Nate. Thanks for having me.
So, you don't go by Tony? You don't go by...
No,
it's always Anthony?
Back home, my sophomore year of baseball, one of my friends started calling me Tony, and I hated it. Ever since, my friends grew back home, they call me Tony. My brother will call me Tony on the court as well. But, yeah, only, back home they do. I do have that nickname, Tony.
So what's your middle name?
Michael.
Okay. So you're not TJ. So you
Nah.
don't have to worry about that. So, but, yeah, we'll get into the basketball season here in a little bit. First thing, let's talk about the high fives from this past week. We can maybe kind of switch off every other one, but let's start with number 5. Your teammate, junior Blake Payne, he totaled 27 points last week, 15 rebounds, and 2 blocks in games against St. Vincent and Geneva. Against St. Vincent, Payne tied a game-high 21 points and tied a game-high with 10 rebounds for his second double-double of the season and 4th of his career. You know, Payne, he's really bringing the Payne down by the glass. I mean, he's really making his presence felt this year, Anthony.
Yeah, he is. He's doing a great job down low, especially with our big man Josh out of the picture.
So moving forward, you want to take number 4?
Yes, I will. Junior Emily Fromnack, she recorded 23 rebounds, 23 points, 18 rebounds, and 7 assists and 3 blocks last week against St. Vincent in Geneva. In the Titans' win against Geneva, Fromnack tied a team-high 15 points and a game-best 10 rebounds, her 5th double-double this season, 13th of her career.
And she's having really a stellar career already. She's only a junior. She already broke the career block record earlier this year, and I know there's more great things to come from her. Moving on to number 3, sophomore Connor May, diver, placed second in the men's 3-meter 6-dive event with a score of 267.55 at Claremont Mud Scripts on Sunday. That's in California, Anthony. So he also finished second in the 1-meter 6-dive, scoring a total of 294.2 points. Every 4 years, actually every year, the swimming and diving team either go to Florida or California. I know it's something with every 4 years, right? Per NCAA, the team is allowed to go outside of the United States. You didn't go to Belize, so that's
Not yet. That is this upcoming summer.
That's the upcoming summer.
Yeah,
okay,
where
right.
team is going down there.
Nice. So that'll be something to look forward to. So that's nice for the swimming and diving team, able to escape winter and join somewhere a little more warmer. So number 2, Anthony.
Megan Pulaski. She is a freshman. She registered 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists last week against Geneva. Led all players with 7 assists, helping Westminster break the single-game record for assists with 27 in one game. She has been impressive this freshman season. She's helping this Westminster have a really good turnaround from last season.
Number 1, it goes to first-year Jamie Alya. She's a diver on the women's swimming and diving team. She earned first place in the 3-meter 6-dive event with a personal best score of 227.55 at Claremont Mud Scripps College on Sunday. She also took 4th in the 1-meter 6-dive event with a score of 208. So congratulations to those high 5 winners. So moving forward, Anthony, so I forgot I was going to lead us into the intro, but our guests so far the majority of them are 3.30s. I don't know if you knew that.
Really?
I'm a 3.30. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah. I live in Poland now. I grew up in Austintown, so I went to Fitch. You went to South Range, correct?
Yes, sir.
So we weren't really rivals. We were kind of far away, but you're a little smaller than Fitch.
Oh,
smaller school, right?
Much smaller than Austintown Fitch.
So it just kind of works out. I mean, I'm not hating the fact there's a lot of dirty 3:30. That's what I learned from Zach Friday. I don't know if that's a cool thing to say or not, but so men's basketball this year, Anthony. I know it's still early. It's still in the thick of things. I'm sure head coach Kevin Soroki and you guys, we're hoping for a better start, but at the same time, there's still plenty of time for the rest of the season to turn things around.
Yeah, for sure. We have started off to a rough start. We haven't won a game yet in 2019, but we do play a Bethany team now with the best record, but we also don't have the greatest record as well. So we're hoping to go over there today with a good game plan, finally get a win under our belt, and start going on a run for the rest of the pack so we get a nice place when pack tournament comes.
I mean, you were talking about, earlier before we went on air, you're only a couple games out. St. Vincent, you were right there. I mean,
literally, it was such a close game and could have went either way, and sadly went on their half.
I mean, just maybe talk about that game, and what was your kind of feelings during the game? Did you think you had it in the bag? Did you know? I mean, I feel like Westminster St. Vincent, especially recently, it always comes down to the wire.
Oh, especially last year, it came down to the wire too. We won at their place. This year we were up like 13. Halfway through second half, I'm like, oh, we got this. We don't even make any rotations. Lloyd Chapman, Ricky Roth, and Blake Payne were playing a hell of a game. And then I thought they were going to lead us all the way. And then it came out of crunch time. We missed some free throws. We had turnovers. And then they were able to capitalize on it. We weren't able to rebound on our mistakes.
For sure. And, 2-4 in the PAC, still very early. And I think that's what matters. I mean, you look at the overall record, 4-11. It's like, well, that's very misleading because you guys played against Ashland. Yeah. You played against Youngstown State. You played against IUP. All these divisions that are getting scholarships.
Yeah.
And Westminster obviously they don't receive scholarships at Division III level. So, but what does that mean playing against those teams with those higher levels?
Soroki, last year we only played 2 teams out of that weren't Division III, but this year you got 3, and it's good because it's better competition. They're like, we could just get crappy Division III games and get a win, but we're not really getting anything out of that. So even though they are tougher games against great talent, it will help us in the long run against Division III teams when we play Division II and Division I competition.
So what about you individually this season? You're a sophomore, but I remember last year you got some playing time, right?
I got a little, not much. We had a lot of they had everyone returning from the year before that was in the starting lineup. So I wasn't going to say anything about playing time. We had a great season, but this year, I have impacted the team a little more.
I mean, you're getting career highs, only as a sophomore. What does that mean? I know with Jarrett Vrabel leaving, Deontay Scott leaving now, he's the assistant coach. Filling in those roles, this year. Providing you an opportunity, more playing time with the graduation and things like that. Talk about the difference of last year and this year for you.
This year, I honestly didn't expect Coach to have this much faith in me as a sophomore, but some games I have produced a lot, some games I haven't. So, but we have so much other players that can help us with this season and on the team. But we need to figure it out this today and capitalize on today as well.
I know we're talking a lot at men's basketball, but it only makes sense because you are our special guest. Another thing I want to discuss is a new face to the Titan squad, but not new to you. An actually very similar face, if you know what I mean. Your identical twin, Dan Ritter. He transferred from Youngstown State. Have you been on the same team ever? Throughout your whole life, with the exception of last year, or
every season, every sport. We even quit football the same year.
Really?
Everything, me and Dan, every sport together. Everyone knew we were going to be together. And end of senior year, they're all wondering, they'll probably just go to the same college.
Yeah, so how'd that work out? If you were on the same team throughout your whole life, and you just figured to switch it up your freshman year?
Me and Dan actually talked privately. We said, hey, let's see if we could try something new. Because Dana wasn't full set on coming to Westminster. He didn't really want to leave home. He's like, let's do something different. I'm going to try to walk on YSU. And he contacted our head coach. Coach Cullen knows Calhoun real well. So he emailed him saying Dan like a tryout, told him how he's a player, and Calhoun said he'd contact him as quick as he can, and he didn't reply for like a month. So Dan was getting kind of disappointed. And then one day we went to their open gym, and Cullen said, "Hey Dan, he finally got back to me, so you have a tryout coming next week." And Dan's like, "Oh my, I have a tryout." We've been in baseball mode, so me and him got in the gym for a whole week, ready to get him for his tryout. And when he went to his tryout, Calhoun came up to him and saying, "You're the only one here who has a chance to play YSU, so we're gonna pick you." When he came home, told me that I was so excited for him. And my mom and dad, they weren't ready for it either. For me and him to split up because they didn't want that. So he did. They finally convinced him. He stayed home all year. I was up here, but I went home a lot to see him. I went to some of his games. He came out to our games. So we still kept close contact, how his practices and their games were going.
One of my favorite moments last year, we went to the YSU game, and I remember it was towards the end of the game. You were guarding, or he was guarding you.
Yeah.
And you I think you drained a 3 right in his eye. Is that correct?
I did. Preston Stitt got the ball to me. Daniel closed out on me. All you hear is the crowd. A bunch of my family and friends were there, so I was standing up going crazy. I was probably like 2 or 3 feet behind 3-point lines. So I pulled it on him, and Daniel even said, "Oh, damn, that's it."
Yeah.
I went in. It was crazy.
Has a day gone by that you haven't brought that up to him?
Oh, it comes up a lot. My friends bring it up too. Say, "Bro, your brother gave you a bucket in a game. You can't say anything about that."
Right. You know, that was a cool moment to watch. And I'm pretty sure we got a good picture of that too. You know, how is it? You know, I'm sure you don't know this, but I have 3 sisters total. 2 younger sisters are twins. They're
really?
fraternal twins. So I know you guys are identical, but at the same time, I know that bonding and kind of like your best friend for life. You know, what was it like growing up? Did you ever try to, since you are identical, was there ever a time that you try to mess with people, like you try to pretend to be Dan and vice versa? Do you have a good story about that?
Yeah, I do actually. We were in 5th grade. It was April Fool's Day, so we went up to our 5th grade teacher. So we shared the same class, but he starts to date in a different class, and then we just switch halfway through. So we went to Miss DeZ and said, "Hey, we're gonna do this." She went to principal. It's all clear. So me and Dan switched, and then I went to Miss Hostel's class beginning of the day, and halfway through she's like, "You're not Daniel." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And so I thought you were just gonna have to send me back to Miss DeZ's class. She's like, "No, you're staying the rest of the day in my class," and Dan's staying over there the rest of the day.
Oh man, that's good. What's the biggest difference? I mean, that people. I mean, personality wise, or is it something that, are you guys both pretty chill, both pretty mellow? Or something that, like, what's the biggest thing that
biggest difference really? Daniel has an inch on me.
Okay.
And it makes me so mad he has like another inch and a half on me. But no, we were basically the same person.
Okay.
We hang out with the same crowd, and yeah, we have the same personality.
I think I always say this word wrong for whatever reason, but twin telepathy. Is that
Telepathy?
Telepathy. I don't know why I say telepathy. My wife makes fun of me all the time.
No,
But is that a real thing?
Yes, me and my brother have. One time I don't know what it was, but we were just thinking about the same exact thing. And also, like, when something bad happens to him, I can also, like, feel his pain a little bit because I don't want it to happen to him and he doesn't want it to happen to me. That happens with siblings, but also with twins, since I might be a little stronger. But yeah, it does happen sometimes.
It's a real deal.
Yeah.
So Anthony, what brought you to Westminster?
Coach Shiroki came to several of my basketball games, and he also came to my baseball games. And when I came on campus, it was smaller, and I actually did like that a lot. And I actually had an old teammate from South Range come here. His name's Preston Stitt. So it kind of felt like I was still at South Range a little bit. And it was close to home too, and it was affordable. So yeah, and coaching staff, Coach Whip, when he was here, he came to some of our games. Coach Danloff, who was a great friend of my dad growing up when he was in Camel. So I really enjoyed coming here, and I was excited I picked here.
Did you ever think about playing baseball in addition to basketball, or are you?
I've thought about it all the time because I do really miss baseball, but late spring semester I do enjoy just focusing on school and getting my grades up. So yeah, I'm done with baseball.
Yeah. I mean, basketball's a grind. I know you guys talk about the 6 a.m. workouts.
Oh yeah, you gotta love those.
Practice too, 6 a.m. or mainly workouts? Both?
No, workouts 6 a.m. to 7. I like exercise, weights room. We'll be on the field running, and then when October hits, we get into the gym. But sometimes Coach will call 6 a.m. like say, "Hey, 6 a.m. lift with Coach D." Like, all right, so we show up, get our lift in, then we'll practice later in the day.
Yeah. What's one thing that you've learned as a student athlete, whether that's organization, prioritizing, things like that, just the balancing of academics and athletics. And I know, and it's such a time commitment to be a student athlete. To talk about that, your own personal experience.
Oh, it is. I thought, bro, I might have trouble with this, but honestly, you need to realize what is more important to you in the long run. I love basketball, but grades are the first thing. My mom is always pounding me about my grades. You have to get your grades up. I know, so I'll be in the library or it's just in my room. My brother, we had similar class, so we just studied together for a few hours. So, yeah, grades are huge. You have to, because that's what gets you jobs. And, basketball, they only go so far. But, yeah, grades are the main thing, and you always got to maintain your time, and time management are huge in college. You're
a sports management major, right? And you had a minor too, didn't you? No, double major.
In marketing.
Marketing, that's
yes.
right. And then you're right now, you're only a sophomore, so you still have some time to figure out. But what would be your dream job at this current moment?
Current moment, I would like to coach or be an athletic director. But also, I've always thought about selling sporting goods for a sporting company like Nike or Rollins. That's what my uncle did, so that's what really got me into this kind of major. But no, I really think about coaching or being an athletic director one day.
So you're interested in sales. You're interested in. You're not a collector, right? But just more.
No, just distributor,
merchandise and things like that. Gotcha. Cool. Well, I think we could talk more about after this lightning round. But I think so. You listened to one podcast so far, right? That was Slops.
Yes, that was with Deontay Scott.
Deontay Scott. Do you call him Coach Slop?
I still call him Slop. But sometimes I will call him Coach Scott. I'm not used to that yet, but I used to call him Coach Slop.
Coach Slop, okay. Yeah, I think I remember he mentioned in the podcast that it was, a lot of people say Coach, I think they still say Slop, that's a majority answer,
yeah.
And then not really Coach Slop or Coach Scott, but while we're on that subject, how is that? I asked him the same question about now, I know you were a freshman, he was a senior, but at the same time, but you guys practice together, you guys travel together. But now he's up in that different job, different position. What's that transition been like to you?
To me, he's actually done a great job with us. Losing Coach Whip, but we still have 3 coaches. Slop knows the game real well. He was a great basketball player, had a great career here at Westminster. He has helped us tremendous, and he understands us because we're also closer to his age than Coach Soroki and Coach D. So he does understand us a little bit, but he also gets on us a little more. He doesn't care. He's get online. You running. I don't care if I was your teammate last year. I'm your coach now, and we need you guys to get better. And, we understand that, and we respect Coach Slop's decision.
And I'm sure it helps, him being a natural leader anyways, last year and previous years. And then, he has that right, if you know what I mean.
He does.
To have that position. So, we're happy to have him back. Let's get right into it. How it works, Anthony, is, which I'm sure you know, kind of one-word answer. It's a quick lightning round, but then I think all the time I always get off topic, and then it doesn't turn into lightning. It's more of a slow storm. But we'll have fun with it. So, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Texting or talking?
Talking.
Favorite day of the week?
Friday.
Favorite city in the U.S. besides the one you live in?
New York City.
Nickname your parents used to call you?
Joey.
Last song you downloaded?
Oh, my. I'm going to have to say, I don't even know. Oh, Ain't No Mountain High Enough. I never had that on my playlist, but for some reason I just downloaded it.
Perfect. That's a good motivation. Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
Talk to animals.
What would be the first animal you talk to?
My dog.
What kind of dog is it?
It's a little Yorkie.
Okay. Favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving.
How long does it take you to get ready?
20 minutes, 15 maybe.
Scale of 1 to 10, how good of a driver are you?
Say 8.
All right, fill in the blank. Taylor Swift is...
Hot.
At what age do you want to retire?
65. Earlier in the day, 60.
Invisibility or super strength?
Invincibility. Invincibility.
Is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat animal crackers?
No.
That's a good question, though, isn't it?
That
It's
is.
kind of like the principle of it. So closing out this week, both basketball teams will be traveling to Bethany tonight. Women's at 5:30, men's at 7:30, and then members of the track and field team, indoor track and field team, will be participating at West Virginia, and the basketball teams close out the week at home versus Grove City on Saturday, 1:30 women's, 3:30 men's. Anthony, what's your preview? What's your insight on the upcoming games, including tonight at Bethany?
Tonight at Bethany, they did lose a lot of seniors last year and a lot of players transferred out. I don't know if they have won a game in a pack yet, but we can't take that for granted. So we have to go in there and take care of business and finally get a win and be back on the win side. We should be, because this team does not deserve to have a losing record, and we have too much talent not to be winning consecutive games.
And what about the Wolverines?
Grove City, they run the flex, and they run like a backed off man too. So we have to put pressure on them right away and be able to switch when we need to and follow coach's directions. He knows how to defend the flex, and we just have to go out there and do it. And we have to rebound like we have been. We've been out rebound teams, but we just have to get it back on the offense end with scoring.
So what does a flex exactly mean?
The flex is like a continuity offense. So they'll swing on one side, and then there'll be a back screen from the dude coming from the corner going literally right over the hoop, and then a guy on the elbow would swing it back, and they would just be going back and forth.
Now against Bethany, it's kind of I feel like you guys recently always facing the PAC playoffs. This was last year. You lost in the semifinals. A very close match.
Very close. It was a great game.
What do you remember from that game?
I remember we had them, and then they just started hitting big shot after big shot. And when the final buzzer went off, I'm like, this should not be happening. We had too much talent this year. But now we just got to bounce back and show them and the whole pack what kind of team Westminster really is.
And then the previous year, you guys lost to Bethany in the quarterfinals. So, yeah, I feel like you guys are always facing Bethany in the tournament. But these are the games that matter most because, with seeding and, you got to get the feel of PAC basketball. There's nothing else like it. I think it's,
really?
Especially this year, there's a lot of parity. It's anyone's game, and we'll see what happens. Just keep grinding one game at a time, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
As we mentioned, the women's basketball team will face Bethany tonight and Grove City on Saturday, and they're really in the thick of things as well. The 3-3 in the PAC. First year, Megan Pojinski, guard, really making her presence felt this year, and as we mentioned earlier, Emily Fromneck, she's almost an automatic double each game, which is huge. And Anthony, I feel at least for conference, you guys are always there watching the
Yep.
women's team play, and even traveling. You mentioned to me earlier that you take the same bus. What do you see from your vantage point? You're watching it just like me. The women's team, the year they're having so far.
Well, I've been noticing all the girls have been playing more together as well, but they also have been playing with a lot more intensity. Like they did get two new assistant coaches, and I feel like they have made a huge impact with Coach Scott. And the freshman class they brought in, that Megan, is making a huge impact as a freshman that a lot of people wish they could do, but at this kind of level. And they have a lot of upperclassmen like Jackie, Emily, who know the game as a Division III level and could help Megan and other freshmen who don't play that much be better this year and to improve as years come on. But they are having a good record this year. They're 3-3 in a pack, and hopefully they go 4-3 today and get 5-3 on Saturday. And they could. And also, when the tournament comes, they make them run as well.
Talk about that dynamic, and I understand the financial side of it. Taking the same bus. If you're playing back-to-back games, it's a massive charter bus.
It is
plenty of room, so it's like it makes sense. Okay, basketball teams, small roster size. You can't do that with like baseball, softball, or obviously football. Even soccer. They might. I think they take a couple buses because they have some huge.
They have like 30 or 40 on the side for boys and girls.
Exactly. So they have to take multiple buses. But we'll kind of talk about that dynamic and those bonding and relationships that you guys could develop. a team, like play the same sport, but
yeah.
you know
We'll
what I
be
mean?
on a bus. We'll talk to some of the girls about how they play. They
Yeah.
congratulate us if we get a win. We congratulate them if they get a win. Also, you get to meet new people.
Yeah.
And then we usually talk about how their game went, how our game went, and also like other topics come up. Like some of us have class with them, so we'll talk about if we have class, what's going on with that. It's a good experience, and plus it makes both teams closer, and it makes us want to support each other even more.
For sure. Kind of extends that Titan family,
Yes,
if you
for
will.
sure.
So that's cool. Another thing we wanted to mention with the men's basketball team, how, you know, with Austin Armwood, you know, being out with injury, and just how Lloyd Chapman stepped up and other players on the team have stepped up. You wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to Lloyd and Ricky for stepping up, for playing that 1-2 spot, because Austin was our main point guard for the past 3 years, 3-year starter. And when he gets back, we're going to need him desperately. But Lloyd, when he was put in the starting lineup with Ricky, they definitely proved they deserve to be there. And past 2 games, they have been great players to look after and roll after their game. They have been really aggressive with the ball and scoring with Austin out. But, yeah, they've helped us a lot, especially with Austin, who is a currently 4-year starter.
Anthony, thanks for joining us on The Buzz. Good luck rest of the year. Good luck tonight. And represent 3330 well, all right?
I will. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to The Buzz. For all things Titans, make sure you go to athletics.westminster.edu. Until next time, have a great week, and go Titans.